Hi, welcome to Outsmart Your Guitar. Glad you could join us. Today we're in part 4 of the Dorian mode. So we're going to be focusing on the 4th position of the Dorian mode, and it's called the Aeolian form. Now, I don't want to get into a whole lot of detail here. You've probably heard the term Aeolian as it relates to a scale, and you would be absolutely right. But I don't want to get into that here right now. Suffice it to say, this position is the Aeolian form. So you're learning a pattern that we're referring as the Aeolian form or pattern. It's the 4th position of the Dorian mode. All right, so let's just get right to it. And be sure to like and subscribe to Outsmart Your Guitar along the way. Okay, let's dive in. The 4th position, the Aeolian form or pattern, starting at the 10th fret. Now, what I want you to do first is put your first finger at 10 on the 6th string. I want you to pay attention to the thumb position. It's very important. Don't have your thumb here behind the first finger. Open it up to around 8 or the dot at 9, somewhere in that position. And the reason for this is so that your 4th finger can more easily access the 13th fret on the 6th and 5th strings. All right? So now let's go. First finger 10 on the 6th string. 3rd finger at 12, 4th finger at 13. Move over to the 5th string at 10. It's a root, tap 3 times. 1st finger. 3rd finger at 12, 4th finger at 13. Move over to the 4th string, 1st finger at 10. Now, here's your first shift point. So you're going to use your 4th finger at 12. This is so your 1st finger can more easily move to the 9th fret on the 3rd string. 2nd finger at 10, 4th finger at 12, root, tap 3 times. Now comes your second shift up to the 10th fret on the 2nd string with your 1st finger. 2nd finger at 11, 4th finger at 13, 1st finger at 10 on the 1st string. Excuse me. Okay. Now, because you played the E and the F at 12 and 13 on the low E, you can also play the E and the F at 12 and 13 on the 1st string. So you can go all the way up to 13 on the 1st string. Descending, you play backwards exactly what you played ascending. Here's your shift point, 4th finger at 12 on the 3rd string. Here's your second shift point, 1st finger at 10 on the 4th string. Now, your job, play up and back for a few minutes to get comfortable with the pattern and the shift points. Playing over and over, up and back. Just focus on getting comfortable with this pattern. Get your looper out and record that G minor vamp. Yeah, that one. Whether you're doing straight eights, a pattern like this, or whatever, it doesn't matter what the vamp is. It just has to be a nice, smooth sounding progression of one chord that you can play over. You know the drill. All right, so here's what you do. You play up and back to get yourself more comfortable. And remember, tap your roots so you reinforce their location in this 4th position. Here's what you're going for. Again, the idea is get yourself comfortable so that this is feeling more natural every time you play it. All right? So, 2-3 minutes or so, just play through it, get comfortable. Let's have some fun now. Over the vamp, you're now going to play melodically. So you can bend strings, you can play angular, you can skip notes, you can do whatever you want. And as before, you can use the pentatonic minor scale as your starting place. And you can add in those color tones and bring the Dorian color and flavor into the mix here. All right? So here's what you're going for. 10 minutes, maybe more. Pay attention to what you're doing here. Mine it for all it's worth. Do things you never thought you might consider. That's the whole idea of why you spend so much time in this position. It isn't wasted effort when you are focused on exploring and mining a given position for all it has to offer. Finding those things that are hidden in plain sight, or maybe not quite so obvious until you stumble upon them, right? And this gives you more licks, more stuff you can do. 10 minutes, maybe more. Have fun with it. All right, there you have it. The fourth position of the Dorian mode, the Aeolian form. Again, I encourage you, really sit in this position and explore what it has to offer, because after a couple minutes, you're going to exhaust the simple, easy, what we call the low-hanging fruit, right? That's when you start to challenge yourself to look deeper, to focus and really dig into the possibilities. This is why we don't want you to play over complex progressions. Just sitting on the G minor vamp and really going at it and playing something meaningful, even over just a single chord vamp. You'd be surprised at the possibilities, and the things that this position has to offer are really amazing. So take your time, have fun with it, and remember why you're doing this. The deeper things, the long game, right? The real reason that you want to learn these things is to understand them more fully so that you can take better advantage of a given scale, because you've studied it and really drilled into it and gotten to see what it has to give you in the way of possibilities, potentials, and ultimately great solo bits, right? Okay. Thank you again for letting me be your teacher. I'm very glad you spend the time here to learn what I have to teach. Part 5 is coming up, so you take care of yourself until then, and when we get it up and running, we'll see you there.